and continue to improve defensively, both goalie and defenseman, I think that's the primary on-ice focus right now for how we can improve. And Parisi's absence might give us a good opportunity to really focus on that and make it a priority and improve there. So there's a little bit of wild, little bit of hockey talk. All right, what else do we got? Well, we better go to Major League Baseball. As I mentioned earlier, Jose Reyes arrested, beating up women, basically. End of that story. Major League Baseball's offseason is underway. Zach Greinke's still one of the biggest names. It'd be awesome if the Twins made a push at him, but there's no chance of that. But the Twins' biggest area of concern in this offseason should be and is the pitching staff, the pitching rotation. And so far in the two moves I have seen us make, that is not being addressed. But let's bring up those two moves. So the first move, which I was actually fairly proud of and encouraged by, and I hope it continues to work out. But the Twins, of all teams, won the bidding for Young-Ho Park, a Korean first baseman / designated hitter who hit 53 home runs last year over in Korea. And the Twins had to bid with all the other teams who were interested in him for the rights to negotiate a contract with him. And that's not even the contract, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's included in the contract value. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. Maybe Mr. Clean can look into that bidding contract thing and get back to me. My baseball guru, Mr. Clean, that is. But they had the winning bid with just under $13 million. Now they've got 30 days to sign this Young-Ho Park to a contract. As I said, he's a big home run hitting first baseman / DH. He will be paired with Joe Mauer, and the two of them will alternate first base and DH. And I'm very encouraged about that. Anything to get Mauer, a more reduced role where he can really focus on getting base hits and his hitting, and being healthy enough to do that. That's my goal as far as the Mauer situation is concerned. We're stuck with him. He's got immeasurable intangibles as far as what he offers and brings and contributes to the organization and the fan base. That simply can't be quantified in hits and runs and RBIs and things of that nature. And no one's going to take him for what we're paying him. So we're stuck with Mauer. We got to make the most of it. And I've been saying for a long time now that I think a big way to do that is to have him DH on a much more regular basis and strictly make just hitting the ball his focus at work. That's it. You don't got to worry about nothing else. But so hopefully within the next 30 days we'll finalize this contract with Young-Ho Park. He'll come in and he'll add yet another powerful bat and home run threat along with Miguel Sano in a high run producing Twins offense, hopefully. Now the move that happened, I believe it was today, maybe last night, was a trade involving the Minnesota Twins, and this one I'm not a fan of, at least not at first, but we'll see if it works out. But the Twins traded away young up-and-coming outfielder Aaron Hicks, so there will be no more outfield question of can we have Rosario, Buxton, and Hicks all out there at the same time, and what do we do with these guys? Where do we play them? No, we don't have to worry about that anymore. It's Buxton's job, and Hicks is gone. Hicks was traded for a center. I'm not sure what team that trade was involved with, or catcher, not center. Jeez Louise. He was traded for a catcher. So I do like that, because to me that is one of the few daily positions on the Twins roster that could still use some improving. So I do like that sense of it. However, I don't like that we're not going to give a real fair shot to the Rosario, Buxton, Hicks outfield. I felt that had all the makings of a groundbreaking, revolutionary, new thing, new era in baseball, where, wow, you're going to see that more often. teams having all three of their outfielders being extremely athletic center field playing capable fielders defensively. Just completely taking away, well, if you hit it in the outfield, it better be a blooper over the infielders' heads, or it better be over the wall, otherwise it's an out. I was looking forward to that, and we're not going to get a chance to see that come to fruition. But again, it was a little jumbled back there, and we did get someone at a position that we could afford an upgrade at. So assuming that the new catcher we got for Hicks is in fact an upgrade from Suzuki, who we had last year, then it'll be okay. But as of right now, it's a wait and see, and I'm 51% at least against it, because I wanted to see a good half a year of Rosario, Buxton, and Hicks in a revolutionary style defensive outfield, and I'm not going to get to. So there's your Major League Baseball news. NASCAR, there was a race last week, and there's going to be a race this week on Saturday, and there will probably be a race after that next week. So there's your NASCAR. You're welcome, NASCAR fans. All right. Let's leave those out. WWE Quickie. So like I said, we got Survivor Series coming up. There will be big news. There will be a tournament for the newly vacated WWE title taking place at Survivor Series. I believe it will involve both the semifinal matchups of the tournament and the final matchup of the tournament. So it'll be kind of, reminiscent to a mini King of the Ring, where the two guys fighting in the match for the title will have already fought in a match that night, to earn that spot. But the reason for this is because at a house show, an untelevised house show, a week ago, WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins was wrestling against Kane, and he did a counter coming off of the corner turnbuckle and was getting down into position and tore ligaments in his knees. One of his knees, I'm sure. And he is out an expected 6 to 9 months, at least, with that injury. So they had to change all their plans, or at least modify a lot of their plans. And now we're having a tournament at Survivor Series. We're having a tournament that will conclude at Survivor Series. We're having matches now on Raw and SmackDown leading up to Survivor Series. So keep an eye on that. Undertaker and Kane returned on Raw. Look for them to be facing some of the Wyatt family at Survivor Series, celebrating Undertaker's 25th anniversary of when he debuted in the WWE at Survivor Series. But that's the quickie for wrestling we got right now. Again, so sad to hear about Seth Rollins' torn knee. He's absolutely great. He is phenomenal, one of the best right now by far, bar none. And it's just really unfortunate. But I hope he seems to have a great attitude about it. What I've seen and read via social media, and hopefully he will be able to recover fully and timely, and be able to come back better than ever. And look for him to come back as a babyface. I very strongly believe that they will turn him babyface upon his reemergence when he is healthy enough to wrestle. But please get well soon, Seth. The WWE is worse off without you, and we will miss you until you come back. All right, now for our final quickie topic before Balls Deep thought of the day, and it is the UFC 193 match card coming up this Saturday night, live on pay-per-view. And all right, so let's see. We've got, as we've mentioned before, we've got Ronda Rousey. That's why you need to watch this. That's why you should care. Ronda Rousey is the main event. She will be defending her bantamweight title versus Holly Holm. Both of these women are lookers, so that's nice as well. You don't always get that in professional fighting. But anyway, Ronda's title is on the line. Holly Holm is undefeated. The event is taking place in Melbourne, Australia. The fight right before... first off, Ronda's going to destroy Holly. Don't look for it to go last beyond the first round. And, Ronda wins convincingly, like she always does. Before that, champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk, something like that, will be facing Valerie Latorno. I think that's how you say it. The Joanna chick, she's a beast. She will destroy Valerie easy peasy. I don't see that being a very competitive match. Then the other 3 fights on the main card would be Uriah Hall versus Robert Whittaker, match of strikers, both fairly decent. I'm going to go with Uriah Hall, just a gut feeling. But that one's a coin flip, could go either way. Before that, we've got Jared Rosholt versus Stefan Struve. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. And then in the first match on the main card, we've got Mark Hunt versus Antonio Silva. Antonio Silva, a huge name in the MMA world. This Mark Hunt, I've never heard of him. I'm assuming he's a fairly decent up and comer. So that's the point of this match, is for him to kind of make a name for himself. And the point for Silva is to prove that he's still got it. I will take. I think Silva's. I don't think Silva's got anything left in the tank. Great fighter, all-time great fighter, but I don't think he's got anything left in the tank. So I'm going to take Mark Hunt just because of that reason. All right, the undercard fights, we've got Akbar Arulio versus Jake Matthews, Kyle Noak versus Peter Sabota, Steve Kennedy versus Rich Walsh, Anthony Perosh versus Gian Vellante, and James Muntasri versus Brandon O'Reilly. Now, as far as the schedule goes for the event, the undercard matches will start on Fox Sports at 7 p.m. Central Time, and then the pay-per-view main card will start at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, Ronda Rousey is can't miss, once in ever, not once in a life, not once in a generation, not once in a lifetime. Ronda Rousey is a once in ever person. Take every opportunity you can to watch her do what she does while she still, treats us to her doing it. She has been quoted telling Rolling Stone magazine that after this Holly Holm fight, she is going to, quote, disappear from MMA. Now, what that means is obviously open to interpretation. I would think that means she's just not going to plan a title defense fight or anything for a good, 3 to 6 months or so, and be working solely in modeling and acting and all of her other endeavors. She has also been quoted in interviews recently as saying that she is ready for WWE. She wants to be a WWE diva superstar. She will be someday. She just needs to get done with MMA first. I don't think she can go back and forth in any regards at any point in time. I think she needs to, like I said, do one, close that chapter, and then do the next one, and close that chapter. And honestly, she's got at least one more MMA fight before she can even consider going to WWE, and that is against Cyborg. It's the dream female MMA fight that all MMA fans have been wanting, and that needs to happen at some point in time before Ronda Rousey can officially move on, retire from MMA, and become the greatest WWE female superstar of all time, which she will, more than likely. So I think that just means I look for Ronda to go on hiatus for a little bit after she wins this upcoming fight this Saturday, but don't by any means look for this to be like, don't interpret what she said as, she might retire or something like that. No, this won't be her last fight, win or lose. She has to fight Cyborg at some point in her career, or she will be Floyd Mayweather ducking Manny Pacquiao, and she's just, that's not how, Ron ain't that type of person. Ain't gonna go down like that. But yeah, go to your local Buffalo Wild Wings this Saturday night and watch for free the UFC 193 pay-per-view. I'm telling you, it's the best way to do it. That's how I enjoy it whenever I'm not working on the night of a UFC pay-per-view. All right, there. So that's all our topics. We're about 15 minutes into Balls Overflow. We're going to wrap it up with a super quick balls deep thought of the day. All right, so our balls deep thought of the day is this, and